here once again from ShortMeTina.com with our daily recap. Before we get underway with a recap of the overall markets, I have a few things that I want to cover or get out of the way. The first is, if this is your very first time tuning in, meaning you've never listened to a ShortMeTina video before, I would like to say welcome. Thank you for tuning in. If you are returning, and again, you are with us day in and day out, I want to say thank you for returning. To either of you, I'm not sure which category you fall in, whether or not you're new or you're returning. Either or, I know you can be doing a gazillion other things right now, but you're choosing to spend it with me in this moment, and for that, I am 100% completely appreciative of that. So I thought to myself, going forward, I think I'm going to start off all of our videos with our mission statement, because I think it kind of sets the precedence for what we do and what we're all about, right? So our goal here really is to build a powerhouse of successful traders, obviously helping you find more winners. I conclude, if you win, we win. If we can get you to where you want to be, that is a win, no matter which way you slice or dice it in my book, right? But before we can do all those great things, before we can get you there, we need to know, what is your biggest frustration in reaching your trading goals, right? Big, bold, capital letters. What is your biggest frustration? Do us a solid, comment in the comment section. Let me know what your biggest frustration is right now in reaching your trading goals. We had a huge amount of participation yesterday. Thank you for those that participated and answered and commented. But, we're getting a decent amount of views, and there's a disproportionate amount of views when you look at the amount of comments that we're getting. So I say all that to say there's a lot of folks probably in the background not commenting. Like when you're in class, and then you have those students that are usually to the front of the classroom and they're constantly raising their hands, they're constantly participating. And then you have folks, like myself when I was in school growing up, in the background, sort of shy and not commenting. I want the ones that are shy, that are listening day in and day out, right? I want those folks to comment. Let me know what your biggest frustration is in reaching your trading goals. So if you've been listening to me and you've never once commented, do me a favor. If you've ever gotten any sort of value from me, if you don't want to say what your biggest frustration is, just say hi. It will mean the world to me if I see a new name under my comment section saying hi. I promise I will say hi back. So let's kick it off with a recap of the overall markets and other stocks. All right, so what we have right now is the S&P 500, the SPY daily chart dating back to 2018. But obviously, we've been focusing on price action, we can say, from mid-2018 till present, so for about a year. If this is your first time tuning in, again, listen to some of the videos that I did last week. You're going to get a whole lot of color in terms of how I'm looking at the SPY. So today you're going to get a really condensed version of what I'm looking at. So essentially, I'm paying attention to two price levels, really, but the more important one I'm paying attention to is that 280 to 282 level. We can call that support. We closed at 285.62 today. Volume has been light for the past few trading days. So again, I'm paying attention to 280 to 282. We've held above there for the most part for the last 2 to 3 months. If we can stay above there, things look okay to me, right? They look rosy. Bull market gearing up for that next leg up. If, however, we breach that 280 to 282 level denoted by this red line, then I have to go back to the drawing board and reassess what I've been seeing in the market. So again, stock market, different things happen every day. Different players come into it every day. It is a very dynamic entity, hence why my opinions can be static at some points, but it can change. So right now, as long as we can remain above 280 to 282, I am bull. I am a bull, rather, I am bullish. If we pierce that, reassessment, because the market is a living, breathing, dynamic, say it again, dynamic entity. All right, what's next? And so right now we have the IWM daily chart dating back to 2018. But again, I'm just focusing right now more or less on price action that occurred within the last 2 to 3 months. So with the IWM, we closed at 152.50, right? But similar to the SPY, we've managed to remain above certain levels for the past 2 to 3 months. In the case of the IWM, so again, closed at 152.50. As long as we can stay above, we can call it shorter term support, and that clocks in at around 148 to 150, this blue line here. I think things should be okay. There is a pattern that I might discuss later emerging in the shorter time frame, which is a head and shoulder top on the shorter time frame. We can say the left shoulder, head, right shoulder forming, which is inherently a bearish chart pattern. But it is on a shorter time frame, so I'm not going to give it total weight. But if we penetrate 148 to 150, we may take a trip downwards, and similar to the SPY, I'm going to have to reassess my thesis. Right now, all I'm paying attention to is 148 to 150. If we can stay above there, things are relatively okay in terms of me being bullish and the stock market remaining in a bullish uptrend. What else? And then we have ticker NOVN daily chart. Huge winner today. So congratulations to the bulls. Stock is up about 25% on the day, closed at 231. Ran into resistance of around 245 to 250. Stock pulled back. Today's high was 245. Again, closed at 231. So going into tomorrow, pay attention to today's high of 245. Again to 250. If it can penetrate that, then obviously we're above here, and for me, that would be bullish. So pay attention to today's high. If we can penetrate that, I think the stock can run again. What else? And then we have ticker WWR, another huge winner on the day, up about 25%. Again, you're looking at a daily chart. We closed at 601. The high today clocked in at 746. Stock has since obviously retracted to close at 601 underneath that support area of around $6.50. Looking at volume, I'm expecting for there to be a bit more of a pullback heading into tomorrow. Obviously, you want to pay attention to $6.50 or even $6. If we cannot penetrate above $6.50, or if we open lower than $6, chances are you're going to have that sell-off. What else? So exercise caution. What else? And then we have ticker TNXP, another stock that's up nicely on the day. Daily chart is up about 18%, closed at 203. Above support of around, we can call that around 180 to 190. So nice move today. Only cautionary tale is volume. It was stock made the move on less than average volume. So no new buyers, if that makes any sense. So there wasn't any new buyers stepping in my opinion. So this move, I would look at it with caution. However, if the stock can stay above 180 to 190, it's above a crucial support level. So pay attention to that. What else? And then we have ticker AHPI daily chart, another stock that is up on the day, up a little over 17%, closed at 170. Huge rebound considering what happened yesterday. On light volume, it's above support of around 150, but these are the stocks that I typically avoid at all costs. It's nothing that I've ever read about in textbooks. It's just something I've witnessed myself from being in the stock market for a very long time. I do not like charts where I see a lot of wicks. Now, at some point, go into detail as to why. It screams instability, in my opinion. It screams unstable on both the long and short side. Essentially, for me, folks that are in this stock have zero conviction, neither on the long side neither on the short side, hence why you tend to see all these wicks. So from a technical standpoint, it is above support of around 150. However, I would not get into this stock. What else? And then we have ticker GHSI daily chart up about 15% on the day, closed at 183. Nice candle, nice move, accompanying volume again. Stock traded about 3 times average volume today. So in that situation, outside of the other stock that I mentioned, you have new buyers stepping in. Again, closed at 179. Up a little bit in after hours. I see 185 on Yahoo. I see 183 here. Either which way, stock is up. Pay attention to that $192 level. If we can get above there, I think the stock might, not say might, but the stock is changing, right? It's changing direction. Whereas it's been in a downtrend dating back to April of 2019, it's seeming as though seems, right? Seeming is a word, right? Anyway, it seems as though it's ready to trade counter trend. You can put ticker GHSI on your watch list. Not necessarily a stock I'd like to trade just based on volume. I usually like to trade stocks that have a decent amount of volume, whereas this one clocks in a little under 200,000. What else? And then we have ticker TOCA off about 38%. Huge bloodbath today. Did not speak to a stock that wanted to rebound. The picture looks, so the overall picture looks, or the chart rather, looks extremely broken at this point, taking into account what happened yesterday, taking into account trading activity of today. Again, closed at 541. The low clocked in at 536. Although we are up slightly in after hours, I see an after hours quote of 546 rather. Even with that, we still closed relatively close to the low of the day with huge volume. Look at this volume bar. Just to give you an idea, the average volume as per Yahoo Finance for this stock is a little shy of 200,000 today. The stock traded 3.2 million, right? Do the math. So a lot of unloading here. Would I go short at this point? No, I'd wait for the back test. So I still think on a shorter term, you can get that dead cat bounce. But I think in this situation, unless it gets to or above that $8 level, get back above support, which is now resistance, I think this is a fade the rally stock. What else? And then we have ticker GENE daily chart off about 33% on the day, closed at 68 cents in after hours. I guess because of the offering, you have a final quote of around 79 cents, a penny short of the 80 cents offering. Even with that said, the chart, the longer term outlook of the chart, in my opinion, remains bearish. Obviously, I wouldn't advocate shorting penny stocks, but I definitely see this stock declining more in the shorter term. I mean, they might be able to hold up that 80 cents for a few days, maybe even a few trading weeks, but eventually I think you're going to see this start to crack. So don't be surprised to see this trading at half the price that it is right now. So clearly can be a 40 to 50 cent stock within the next few months. So in the intermediate term, I am bearish. What else? And then we have ticker ONCS daily chart off about 32% on the day, closed at 270. The writing essentially was on the wall, in my opinion, on May 20th, two days ago, when the stock broke 6-month support of around $4.50. Again, it broke multi-month support. That should have been the writing on the wall, sitting here at 270. The low clocked in today at 268. You know what I'm going to say. When a stock closes close to the low of the day, chances are the selling will continue into the next trading day or at some point within that trading week. Heading into next week, if you see a pop, that's okay. When these types of move happen, right? When a stock declines by 20, 30, 40%, you're going to have that initial, what we call that dead cat bounce. You're going to have either shorts covering, which will drive the price of the security up. You're going to have those 9 to 10% rallies, but unless the stock can get back within that range above 450, I think you're going to see further decline. So I think you're going to be trading below 270 in the intermediate term unless the stock can get above 450. What else? And then we have ticker CSWI, up about 9% on the day, closed at 64.90, the high of today, clocked in at 75.67. So this move happened more or less on above average volume. The stock traded about 2 times the average volume today, again going as high as 75.67. We've had a steep retracement, so I'd be cautious heading into this week, and next week you might have a pullback. But overall, if you look at the longer term outlook, or if you look at the longer term chart, the stock has been in a nice uptrend. So not my cup of tea. It's not a stock that I would trade, but it is in a nice clear uptrend. So you might want to put it on your watch list. What else? And then we have ticker RDVT, another stock that's up nicely on the day, up about 8.5%, closed at 13.25. Again, breaking out of this multi-year base. So far so good for me. Again, not my cup of tea, so I wouldn't trade it. But as long as the stock can stay above, we can say as long as it can stay above its breakout base of around, what do we want to call that? Let's call that around $12.50 to $13. I think things can be good for this stock, and it might even fill this gap here of around, well, that's kind of huge. The gap is 29, but I think you can get a few more points if it can stay above that $12.15 to $13 level. So you might want to put ticker RDVT on your watch list. It is doing great things. What else? And then we have ticker OBLN, daily chart, up about 237% on the day. Huge volume pouring in. We closed at 130. The high of today clocked in at 164. So we definitely ran into resistance, actually went above it. Resistance comes in at around, we can say 140. Went above it, going as high as 164 before retracing. So I see an after hours quote of 148. So it's up a little bit in after hours, about 13%. This is a potential runner. So going into tomorrow pre-market and obviously regular trading, pay attention to that 164 level. If volume continues to pour in pre-market and during regular trading hours, and we can actually get above 164, again, you have a potential runner on your hands. Be cautious. It's a small cap stock. So that means, in my opinion, you don't need to bet a lot. What else? And then we have ticker XELA, daily chart, off about 18% on the day, closed at 241. Went as low as 212 and had a little bit of a push today. Again, selling is on above average volume. So heading into tomorrow, the remainder of this week, next week, pay attention to resistance of around $3. If the stock can get above there, that's good. You have a chance of actually continuing an uptrend. If it cannot get above that $3 level, then I think at some point it will be trading lower than 212. So what else? All right, so let's wrap it up and round it out with ticker LLEX, off hugely on the day, off about 20%. Closed at 71 cents. The low of the day is 71 cents. You know what I say, if a stock closes close to the low of the day, chances are selling will continue into the following trading day or the following trading week. Again, all of this happening on above average volume. So I'm very bearish on ticker LLEX. I mean, again, you might have your dead cat bounce, meaning that the stock might go up about 8 or 9% in a day because it's off so much, 20%. But overall, if you look at the chart, it is bearish. So bearish on ticker LLEX. So let's cap it there. Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I want you to do 3 things for me. Again, if you're new, comment what is your biggest frustration in trading. If you are returning, comment. You always do. I love you for that. If you are that student that is in the back of the classroom and you've been paying attention, but you have not let your voice be heard, do me a solid. Let me hear your voice. Say hi. I'll say hi back. Let me know what your frustration is in trading. Just get engaged. comment in the comment section. That's the first thing. Second thing is I do videos Monday through Friday. So if you want more videos, head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Every time I do videos, you will automatically be notified. And lastly, I've been trading for over 15 years. If you think you can learn anything from me, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for your support.
Thank you.